Let's see if I'm live here. I know I scheduled it for, I think I scheduled it for 8 o'clock. Although it just said 9, but I'm pretty sure. Whatever. What's going on, everybody? Christian Ballard here on a Tuesday night. Trying to make up for last night. I'm not sure what happened, but the stream just kind of stopped or whatever, and it got removed. I don't know what happened, but looks like I'm on tonight, though. But figured I'd do some Q&A, get you guys on the stream. Talk some sports, some college football scenarios, try to talk about a little bit what I talked about last night, or try to at least. So, I'll put the link in here if you want to join. Put that. What's up? We got, you like? Says first. We got MSU #1 fan. What's going on? Appreciate you guys showing up. Let me, I'm going to put that in here in the chat real quick. And put the link and we'll be good to go, I guess. So college football is going to be happening soon. We hope. They haven't officially canceled the season. They need to hurry up and make a decision. I think, obviously, if we have football, there won't be any fans in the stands. I think we can all agree there. Right? Pretty much. So, and I put the link in there, but there will be no fans. Now, they talked about, doing conference-only games. Now, I think we can all agree that at this point, I think for us football fans, we really don't care how you do it. I think we're all just wanting football in one way, shape, or form, Now, I really don't see the whole point. The only thing I can get out of this is you need conference champions, right? I get a shortened season and all that. But what difference does it make if you play a non-con game or a conference game? What difference does it really make? I really don't see it. So it doesn't make sense to me all that much. But it is what it is, and whatever happens, happens. But there will be some football at some point, I'm sure, and I hope. Whether it be spring football, I've heard some talk about that, whether we play in the spring of 2021. If we play in the fall, maybe we delay it a couple weeks. I think of it eventually, ultimately, overall, we get football at some point. Question is when and how we will get it. Now, I get they've already made announcements on conference-only games for some teams, but, is that necessarily the final decision? Most likely. But you still never know. A lot could happen between now and August/September, when it's supposed to start actually in September, but still. We'll just have to wait and see. So we got, you like in here? We got MSU #1 fan. Appreciate you guys showing up tonight. We also got Ballard Sports Media. Oh, wait. That's me. I put the link in there if you want to click that and be on the stream tonight. Your choice if you want to use the camera. We at least need audio if you want to be a part of the stream. So click that link, put your name, and we can talk some sports tonight or whatever you want to talk about. I'm looking forward to tomorrow. There's this new streaming service that launches tomorrow. It's going to be, they say it's free as a bird. Funny pun for the name. NBC has a new streaming service called Peacock. They say it's free. They got like a premium version that's like $10 or whatever it is a month, or maybe it's like $50. I don't know. Maybe I misread the pricing tiers, but there's a premium that costs money. But there's a free version you download. I am most excited for the second Psych movie, right? I'm a huge fan of Psych. Um, I mean, listen, why they had to take it off USA Network, I don't know. That's beyond me. I don't know why. But I don't care how I watch it. I just want to see it at some point. I see we got someone back there. Let me see who it is. Blake West in here, man. I haven't seen you in the comments, but I'll add you on. You're good people. So I'm going to add Blake here in a second. Clear this notification real quick. You're on with Ballard.
How you doing, brother?
I'm doing pretty good. How about yourself, Blake?
Yeah, man, I would have commented, but I was busy. I just got
Yeah.
done playing some guitar, so
Awesome.
how you
How's
been,
the
man?
music going?
Oh, music's great, man. I just
Yeah.
uploaded a video actually.
Awesome. I'll have to check it out later.
Oh yeah, I appreciate it, man.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
I'm doing
so
pretty good too.
what you
So
talking about tonight, bro?
I'm just talking about some potential football scenarios, answering questions. Just kind of talking. I guess I kind of put the new streaming service I was just mentioning in the title because I'm really excited for that. Like I have never seen such a free, I put that in air quotes because who knows if they're trying to rip us off like that, but they say it's free. There's a couple pricing tiers though, like premium
Yeah,
versions.
they're gonna
But
have the Psych 2 movie on
are
there.
you a Psych fan?
Yeah, I'm a Psych fan and a Monk fan.
Oh,
Back to
yeah,
back.
man. Yeah,
Best
I haven't
shows.
seen Monk. I have not seen Monk. I hear it's similar to Psych. I'll have to find
Do
that
you
and
have
check that out. But
Netflix?
man,
Do you have Netflix?
yes, yes, I do. Is it on there?
No, it's not. It used to be, but okay.
Mhm.
The same price you pay for Netflix, a little bit cheaper. Amazon Prime.
Okay.
Monk, the full episodes of Monk and Psych are both on Amazon Prime. 14. I
Yeah,
think it's like
I
14
was
bucks.
watching before I came up to Alabama. I've been up here for about a month or so. I still got a couple weeks up here. I'm up here for the whole summer. I was binge watching Psych like it was eating candy. I was just going at it because, man, that's my favorite TV show. Now, I hear they have a lot of fans, and I know it's probably, like overall not the best show in the world. To me, it is. I mean, it's funny. It's got a lot of humor in it. I love crime shows. It's got crime. It's got comedy, a little bit of drama in it, and I mean, it's got everything that I like in a TV show. So I mean, and the fact that now why they had to take the second movie and not air it on USA Network like they did with the show and the first movie is beyond me. I don't know why, but if I can watch it for free, don't
Yeah.
miss this opportunity, I guess.
No, Psych, it's going to be Lassiter Comes Home or whatever. It's supposed to be on Peacock TV.
Yeah,
But
yeah, it looks pretty
I'll
good.
say this, brother. To be honest with you, I'm a fan of those shows like that. But I love a lot of TV shows. Just like Kevin over there at Chester Stream. Kevin is a very big movie buff. I'm a TV show
Yeah,
buff. I love
yeah,
movies now. Don't get me wrong. I've watched a lot. I've watched just as many as Kevin probably. It's not that I
yeah,
own them. I watch them on stream, but I've watched a ton of movies,
right.
tons of
Like you
shows.
stream them. You stream them, yeah.
Yeah, but a lot. But I'll say this: there's this one show that I don't know if you ever got a chance to watch on Netflix before they took it off. It's called Continuum.
It's called what?
Continuum.
I don't think I've ever heard of that one.
It was a female-led show, and they were in the future, like
Hmm.
I don't know, like hundreds of years in the future. And they go back
Yeah,
in time. The criminals go back in time, so the police go back in time by accident at the execution of this big terrorist group in the future.
right.
And they go back in time to like way back when we were like 2012, 2010 or whatever. And they go back and this female character, man, this is the first time I ever seen a TV show take a lead character and make you
Right.
hate them, make you wish bad on them, make you wish that they have a bad
Really.
ending. Yes, it's
Oh,
the first
wow.
TV show that forced that because this woman
And
was
it's
so
called,
selfish about her kid. I got that. She's so selfish about her kid. She would sacrifice anybody in the TV show. She didn't care
Right.
who she hurt, what she did. Like sometimes
If
she
it
would
meant, if it meant life or death for her kid, she'd sacrifice for him. Right.
maybe women will like her more, but for me, I was pissed off. It's that guy from have you ever watched Jericho? Because Jericho is one of my favorites that they canceled.
Man, you're naming some shows I've never heard of here.
On
I'm
Netflix, go
gonna see
watch it,
that one.
dude. It's 2 seasons. They're thinking
Okay.
about bringing it back. Some private people are talking about
Yeah.
making a new season because that show was top level. I love that actor on there, man. I got to remember his name. Um, the guy who has the bomb or whatever, man. That guy right there is one of the best actors I've ever seen. Uh, it's
Yeah.
just a really well led show. But yes,
Hmm.
I was going to say this about football though. I had this thing early on. I think the NFL will happen. I think the NFL will happen 100%, no doubt.
I don't think. I think if anything, I'll let you continue in a minute. But I was just gonna say, if anything, I don't know if the NFL can afford not to have a season. But go ahead and continue on.
That's
I was
what
just
I
gonna
would
say
say,
that.
man. Think about baseball. Baseball
Yeah.
makes more money than, I mean, if you think about how many contracts, how much money people can make out in baseball, it's like,
Right.
holy crap.
Hmm.
But football, I just don't see them having cap space enough to just like be like, oh yeah, we're gonna sit a couple years, we'll be all right. But I think NFL will definitely happen, no doubt. I don't know if it'll be a full season, but I know it will definitely happen. Now, I was like, uh, I was like 80% the season starts at the start of this, 80% the season starts in college, and only
Hmm.
like 10% that it keeps going. Now I'm at
Right.
zero chance that the season ends, that they ever make it to the end. I'm at 0%, like 100%. There's no chance
So
they make it to the end of the season.
what's the percentage on it starting? Obviously, I know you just said at the beginning of this pandemic and everything you were at 80. Obviously, I'm sure that's probably a little lower, right?
Well, actually, I think they'll try to start it. I mean, there's still stubborn people out there, man, that are going to push for it. And look, I want it just as bad as anybody, man.
Right.
I wish somebody would just have the balls to just jump up and say, "Hey, we're doing this,"
Yeah,
but they don't want to be liable for the deaths or whatever comes after. They don't want to be liable.
I
But
get
the
that.
problem
Yeah.
is, it's like the Lord sometimes when it says, I'd rather you be hot or cold than to be lukewarm. It's kind of like that. Like I'm tired of the NFL and the NCAA being lukewarm about things. Like we're gonna stay in the
Right.
middle and see which way public opinion goes, so we can make that decision, or
Yeah.
what would happen after. Like stop being lukewarm. Like choose a
Right.
decision, make a decision, stick to it, and stand behind it.
See, I'm just sick and tired of people being afraid. You need to just, and I'm trying to be a sportscaster and everything. I'm so young, but man, just say it, call it like it is. Grow a pair and do something. Quit being afraid. Take a chance. Because what I'm afraid of is we cancel the season, if we cancel the football season, and
Mm.
we find out years down the road, months down the road, whatever, oh, we didn't need to cancel the season. We wasted that time. We wasted a season. We canceled it. We find out later we didn't need to do that. Just at least try to play the first couple games and see where it goes. I
I
think.
think they need to do this to have games every week. I think since they have a bunch of teams playing, I think they need to space and everybody have a bye week in between games. But say Ohio
Right, like
State,
every other week.
say SEC and Big Ten play their games, and whoever
Right,
they're playing first week, right? They all play their conference game, and then everybody takes a break except Toledo and all these people over here play their schedule
right.
the second week, and then the third week we got these other guys, they play their schedule
Yeah,
and do it like that.
I like what. I like what Uncle Lou said a couple weeks ago. Like when you take Alabama because obviously we always have a couple cupcakes, but like I'm trying to think of who Alabama has as a cupcake this year. I think
Georgia State.
yeah, take Georgia State. That's week 2, I think. Is that game really worth the risk? If you think there's risk of is that game really worth trying to play with this pandemic going on?
Uh,
No, it's not. But if you look at Georgia,
mm,
that's a game worth playing. USC's a game worth playing. Of course, I know they canceled it, but let's say they didn't. LSU's a team worth playing. Mississippi State, Tennessee, all these conference games are worth playing. The cupcake games, I mean, if you're going to blow them out like 6,200 to nothing or whatever it is, with this pandemic going on, why are you going to risk it?
well, the NCAA is going to have to come out with a statement over everything because say this, okay, let's say the SEC decides we're not going to play. We're just playing conference only. Big Ten's like, I'm playing conference only. ACC says, nope, we're not playing conference only. We're going to play the whole schedule so we'll have a 12-0 record.
Right.
And then you look at the teams and they're saying, oh, well, these four conferences played all 12 games. They're over here in SEC, we got two undefeated teams, but guess what? The two undefeated teams, only 9 games.
Right.
What if they start looking at it like that? Like these guys got more wins because they chose to
Yeah,
play their games.
because they only play conference games. It was a shortened season because on average, teams in the SEC play like 8 or 9 games, like you just mentioned. Only 9 games. I mean, and then you got these other like the Big 12 or whatever, where it's like a 12-game season, all conference or whatever. You know what I mean?
I think this is what's going to look, man. The NCAA is going to have to come out with something and say all conferences will abide by these rules. Because if it's
Right.
not all conferences, then it's none. I'm an all or nothing type of guy. Either all do it
I
or
agree.
not. Anything, I'm about that about anything. If it's not right for one person, it's not right for all. If it's not this, it's not that. I say
Right.
this. At the end of the day, the NCAA is going to have to put a rule on all conferences because if one conference decides we're going to play all 12 games and the little cupcakes are like, we need the money, so we're just going to play it. And
Mm-hmm.
could they do this? Could they say, okay, well, here's what we're going to do. Instead of just not playing the games, we're going to go ahead and give the win to the team that was probably going to win, and they pay us the money like we came there. Could they do that? Like Georgia
Right.
State gives the win to Alabama for the money. I don't know. Maybe
Right.
that'd be extortion. I don't know. But if they were set rules like that, I don't know. But at the end of the day, that's what I'm thinking about. What if Clemson was playing 12 games and they won all 12 of theirs because they barely play anybody? I'm not saying nothing against the
Right.
team because they're a really great team. Let's say Clemson
Right.
wins all theirs and then Alabama wins all theirs. We're 9-0 and they're 12-0. They get the number one spot because their conference chose to play 10. Now, of course, I just think everybody's going to play conference on the schedule. That's just my opinion.
Right. Yeah, I think so. And, I think the reason why, and again, they could, if they wanted to, I get conference only because, risking playing non-con games and stuff. But you know why they're choosing conference over non-con games is because of the conference championships. You need conference games to build a conference record, to be at the top of the division and blah, blah, blah. You need conference champions, right? You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
um, I mean,
I don't know,
I
man.
think, and again, like I mentioned, uh, I think if you had asked me a few months ago, I'm like, I'm not missing football season. We can't afford this or whatever. No, no, no. We gotta play this team. Come on, this year. I think at this point, I don't care who Alabama plays. I don't care who Clemson. I don't care what happens. I think we can all agree as football fans, we'll just be happy to have a season.
I'm going to say this, man. I've always been a fan of Bama since
Right.
'97. I've been a
Mm-hmm.
fan of Pittsburgh since 2001. They've
Yeah.
been really good since Alabama since 2007. Really not really
Right.
good those years. I mean, 2007 was kind of just a 7-5 year, I think. I don't remember. It was something like that. 7-5. That's a regular season.
Right.
But at the end of the day, I think this. I think that the thing with this is I've always been an underdog guy. I
Right.
love seeing an underdog win. I was talking about this on somebody's stream, and they said it's not possible.
Mm-hmm.
But I would love to see a team like Southern Miss or, let's say, Southern Miss. I'm trying to name another Las Vegas, any of the little teams, Boston College, like any
Right.
team that's just been mid-table basically most of their careers, mid-table teams, get some recruits that just surprise people. They're like, well, my dad went here, so I went here, and he's like a 5-star athlete. The wide receivers are 5 stars, the tight ends,
Right.
and just
Like the
imagine, man, it would be
yeah.
awesome to see an underdog win a national title. It would be the craziest thing, though. What if you had three
Like out of
stars to do it?
nowhere. Like
Yeah,
out of nowhere too. Because listen, I know we dog on the ACC and say Clemson plays nobody, and first off, North Carolina, they're looking like a team that's on the rise. They look like they're recruiting well. They should have, dude. They should have beat Clemson last year, in my opinion. I don't care if Clemson won that game or they prevented the 2 point. Dude, Clemson should have blew them out. I think. I know
I
it's
think
in
North
Chapel Hill,
Carolina
but
beats them. I think North Carolina beats them this year if they play.
in Clemson,
No, 100%. They beat them.
maybe. But I think, dude, I know we talk about the ACC and say Duke is terrible, Florida State's in the dumpster now and has been since the end of the Jimbo era or whatever. This team sucks. That team sucks. The ACC's garbage, dude. I listen. As much as I believe that outside of Clemson, it's a cupcake conference, and as much as we all believe it, talk about it, I would love to see the ACC get better. I want teams to beat Clemson. I want to see teams make the playoff for the first time from the ACC. I want it to be like the SEC and the Big Ten and all that. I think we can all agree we want it all to be competitive all across the Power Five conferences. But it's just not that way. You know what I'm saying?
Like, what would you do if Florida Atlantic won a national title? I mean, it would just be like, what just
It'd be
happened?
like, what the heck? Yeah, it's like this is FCS, right? This is a high school title, right? It's not the actual playoff,
I'll say this,
Tell me
okay?
this
One
is it
last
is it
year,
April Fools already?
yeah, last year last year, okay, I'm an Alabama fan, so I cheer for Alabama.
Right,
But it
right.
was fun to watch Justin Fields, so I watched those
Yeah.
games. It's fun to watch him.
Ohio State.
Now, Georgia fans, I ain't saying Uncle Lou because Uncle Lou's been saying this since the start. A lot of Georgia fans were hating on him because he had left the team. They wanted him to do terrible and all this.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, when Jalen left, a lot of Alabama fans were sticking behind Jalen, saying, "Hey, man, we're gonna watch your career over there at Oklahoma. We like you."
Yeah.
And that's what I'm about, man. If you're an Alabama player, I look at you in the NFL when you're with the Falcons or whoever you're with, when you're with the Patriots, whatever. When I see you, you're Alabama guy, Derrick Henry,
Yeah.
those guys, Jerry Judy now, Henry Ruggs, got
OJ
Amari
Howard's
Cooper,
with
Calvin
OJ
Ridley.
Howard's with the Bucks.
Yep,
Go Bucks.
Think about Calvin Ridley, Amari
Yep.
Cooper,
Mm-hmm.
Julio Jones of all people. I mean, I think he's one of the best wide receivers of all time. Anyway,
Yeah.
when you're an Alabama guy,
He's
you're always an
wonderful.
Alabama guy. I don't care
Right.
who you are. When you're an Alabama
There's
guy, you're
some
always an
players
Alabama guy.
that there's some players I see in the NFL now that I'm like, they're still around, or I forgot he went there. Yeah, man, he was good. Like I forget for a split second that we had Julio Jones, and I kind of forget about him, or I underestimate him, or I'm like, he was all right. No, Julio Jones was great, man. It's just been so long,
Mount
but
Cody. Think about Mount Cody. I mean,
Terrence
Terrence
Cody,
Cody was a beast.
Tennessee,
I love Terrence Cody.
2009,
Courtney
2009
Upshaw.
Tennessee.
Courtney Upshaw. They
Yeah,
got Fitzpatrick. And a bunch of others, man. I love it. I love the Alabama presence on the defense back then. And I think our defense is going to be lights out this year. I think we're coming for them Georgia puppies. I mean,
right.
I respect Georgia. They're the only team other than LSU, which they only won one game last year against us.
Right.
But Georgia's the only one that's been consistent with us. Florida hasn't
Yeah,
been consistent with us. LSU hasn't been consistent with us. Auburn now, they've been starting to get there. They're getting consistent. I mean, but it's a rivalry game.
they're
That's what's going to happen.
consistent. They're consistent on winning the Iron Bowl at Jordan Hare. I'll give them that.
Well, I think that we're going to beat them 2 years in a row now. I think Bryce Young next year. I think this year, if you take Bryce Young in, I mean, he is a great quarterback. I mean, look what he did at the high school game, the East West or whatever they did. You know, that's crazy.
Bryce
That
Young.
dude's just a monster. He's a
Bryce Young.
monster. Yeah, Bryce Young. He's a
Yeah, man.
monster.
Yeah.
I wanted, I don't know if you've seen Lawtide's tweet, but Lawtide was talking about coronavirus just saved your ass, USC. USC, it was actually,
Yeah.
this dude was committed to USC, Bryce Young, and we got him from them.
Yeah, he was.
So
I'm
week
gonna be
one would have
honest.
been amazing. Week one would have been amazing.
Yeah, I'm not gonna sit here and say I was completely shocked at him picking Alabama. I kind of looked at it though on the day he picked Bama. I'm like, you know what, Mac Jones there. I wonder if he's thinking, what if Saban doesn't go with me or anything like that? Now, I'm not saying Saban wouldn't have gone, but I heard a lot of rumors that he was leading a lot more towards USC. So when he picked Bama, I wasn't necessarily surprised, but I'm like, I think when he picked up that hat, probably wasn't even that close, was it?
Yeah.
You know
But
what I
at the
mean?
end of the day, you got to look at it like this, man. I love going back and watching Tebow moments when he cried and
Yeah,
stuff. I love watching that national championship where Tua threw that bomb, second and
yeah,
26.
man.
Could
Yeah.
Tua man in
All the great ones.
26. Uh, I even love going back and watching the kick six to remind myself of what it feels like, when your team and we don't need to because guess what? This year
Dude,
we missed the most important field goal we could have ever missed.
I thought I was the only one that went back, the only Alabama fan that would go back and watch the kick six. Because when you look at let's look at the kick six. Okay, 2013 Iron Bowl, November 30th. It's tied at 28. Now this was, regardless of the outcome, this was a great game to watch. It was kind of a shootout. It was back and forth. The 99-yarder to Amari Cooper that we had. Now, Cade Foster, bless his soul, has got to be one of the worst kickers I've ever seen. The dude, first off, is built like a tight end. With how he's built, I think he could play tight end. But man, dude, like blocked in the line kick, wide left. It was blocked and returned a little bit, and the kick six play. First off, Auburn did not want an extra second. They wanted to go to overtime. You know that, right? They wanted to go to overtime.
Yeah, I wish Nick Saban would have
Um,
let it go. I wish Nick Saban would have just let it go when we went to overtime. We'd have won then, 100%.
I
I
think
don't.
a lot of people figured they would try a Hail Mary or something, because it was so successful in that game. Dude, I swore up and down that night that Chris Davis stepped out of bounds first off. And you got to look at it this way. I think Adam Griffith with that play doesn't get enough credit because even though it was short, it was still a decent kick that he probably could have kicked a little bit harder and made it and won the game. He
Well, how
didn't,
hard do you think he
but it
kicked,
was
bro? He
still a
probably kicked pretty dang hard. I mean, uh,
yeah, he
I,
does.
I'd say this: my favorite national championship year was 2015
Right.
because we had 2 years where we didn't win. The
Mhm.
2013 kick six, and then the 2014. You know what happened. So when 2015 came around, it was the best thing. We didn't know who our
Right.
quarterback was going to be. Everybody was like, "The dynasty's over. Y'all ain't won in 2 years. Y'all ain't winning this
And the
year."
Ole Miss game
Yeah,
too,
we
man.
lost.
Everyone
Everybody
was
was like,
lining us off.
"Alabama is rest in peace."
They're
Right?
done. They're
We
done
beat
after that.
Georgia at Georgia. We beat Georgia in Athens, 38-10. Jacob
We
Coker
won the Iron
became
Bowl.
the number one. I won't never forget the handshake and the look on Nick Saban's face when he looked at Jacob Coker that day. And he said, "I think," and the announcers, I think it was Brad and Neslo back then. Remember? Like I don't remember exactly who it was, but they
Right.
said, "I think we know who the quarterback's going to be now." Or whatever. He
Yeah,
found his
because they were
quarterback.
still
Nick Saban
figuring
found his
out.
quarterback.
Yeah, we were still figuring out a quarterback week when we played Georgia. I'm not sure what week that was of the season, but it
Week
was.
five, I think. I don't know.
Yeah, so still about a month into the season, we were still figuring some things out.
But after that, we went on, and who would have thought with Derrick Henry and Jacob Coker, Who would have thought that we would have won a national title against Deshaun Watson of all quarterbacks, which I still like watching
Yeah,
Deshaun Watson. I'm not a Texans fan, but I love watching Deshaun. He's one of the most electrifying quarterbacks of anybody I've seen in the NFL. He's very electrifying. I like his attitude. I like the way he plays.
right.
When he played at Clemson, he was really good, right?
Yeah,
45
it
to
was.
40. Who thought Alabama could do that
Dude,
back then? That was not our style to shoot out and play that high in the game.
3 plays that stuck out to me in that Clemson game. 2 out of the 3 were scores. Number 1, I think, was the first one that Alabama scored on was that 50-yard touchdown run that Derrick Henry had in the first quarter.
Derek is a
Number 2,
beast.
yeah, number 2 was the onside kick that they probably didn't really need to take, but man, they took a risk and it paid off, and it was a clean kick too that they recovered. And then I would say, man, OJ Howard lit it up, but the Kenyon Drake kickoff return that he had, oh
Yep.
man, I like the touchdown to OJ Howard. He had a couple in that game. There was like an 80-yarder or something like that. I don't know how long it was. But
Well, look at
man,
it like
there
this,
was a lot
man.
of great plays.
2015 was after 2 years not having an natty. We're in 2 years after
Mhm.
not having a natty. Everybody says the dynasty's dead. Chester's saying
And we
week 3
did
it's
it.
dead. We're about to see. We're about to
Yeah.
see.
And
I think we're going to be revenge tour. It's time for a natty right here in Bama. I mean,
yeah. Yeah, I think so. Oh, this is cool. Breaking news here. A top cornerback, not to be confused with a quarterback, we're talking defense here, has decommitted from Clemson. Jordan Hancock, 24/7 Sports has him rated 4 stars, has been committed to Clemson since March, but now he has decommitted. But he's got Ohio State and Alabama in the mix. I'll have to check him out later.
all right.
Recruiting, huh?
So I think, we have done really well in recruiting. I mean, look
Yeah,
at what's going on now. And Kirby, he's just a son of Nick Saban, basically. I feel like, man, that dude
exactly.
had such good.
He's got nothing. He's got nothing other
Huh?
than defense. He's trying to figure out offense. I'm just gonna call
Yeah,
it.
I got that, but I think that Kirby is a son of Nick Saban, basically, because his good fortune to have a good team, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I think Kirby is the son. Like what I'm saying is Lane Kiffin had a great time at Florida. I never thought. Now I knew he went out there. I never thought Lane Kiffin would do good at Florida Atlantic.
Really?
Didn't he win 2 conference championships? I think he did. Uh, that's what I'm saying. I never thought that he'd do good at Florida Atlantic, but he did. And
Uh huh.
Jeremy Pruitt's doing his thing at everybody who's an assistant of the man, Nick, man, it's always something good with them.
Right. And
It's crazy.
it's normally on what they were under. For example, Kirby Smart. Now, I keep saying it, and I'm going to keep saying it. He has got to figure out offense, in my opinion. Now, he can recruit all he wants to. He's got great running backs, receivers, and they looked great in 2017 when Alabama played him in the national title. That's inconsistency, though, for Kirby Smart. But he can recruit on defense. He can play some defense. He can coach some defense. He's just got to figure out offense a little bit more, I think. And I think he can get it done. Um, Same thing with Jeremy Pruitt. Both need to figure out a little bit on offense. Kind of. I think Jeremy Pruitt doing a little bit of a better job at that than Kirby Smart is at Georgia. But again, both of those guys were not only assistants to Nick Saban; they were
I
defensive
think this
coordinators.
man, I think the Kirby dude is doing a fine job. I think he's doing a great job for a first time head coach. I think he's done
Right,
great over the last 3 years. I think he does know. I think he has a good handle on offense. I think he made a stupid decision about Justin Fields, but it's
right,
also you got to think about this. He's thinking about how he was at Alabama. He's thinking about the Nick Saban
mhm,
years where Nick Saban had this kind of offense. We'd run the ball a
right,
lot. We'd have a decent quarterback, and we'd have a great defense. and that's
Right.
how he won natties. So you got to look at it like that, man. In those terms, he's doing really well. He just needs to learn to change just a little bit, but he's doing well. He's
Yeah.
one of the best first time coaches I've seen in my whole life. I don't know many first time coaches that do what he's done. He's done really well. I think Jeremy Pruitt did the best he could last year after 2 terrible losses. I did hate his lack of passion at the press room. I can't
Right.
stand people with lack of passion at the press room. I want
Me
you to
neither.
be fiery and mad and come out. I mean, I love people who really ramp it up and let them know. I mean, yeah, you got to be calm sometimes, but sometimes you can let loose on them. And I don't know, man. I think that all these assistant coaches are doing good. And will Nick Saban end his career with a perfect record against his assistants? I do not know. Uh,
You would hope
that
so. You would
I would
obviously
hope
hope
so,
so.
but it would be time
Um,
will only tell.
right. I think though. I think this. I think if there's any assistant, because listen, say whatever you want about Tennessee last year. They started out rough, but man, they should not have made a bowl game after losing to a Mormon school in BYU, losing to Georgia State, losing to, pick a cupcake, I guess, right? Now they bounced back and they made a bowl game. They won the bowl game against Indiana in the Gator Bowl. Um,
By 1 point.
I think most likely, I think obviously the guy to beat Nick Saban is probably Kirby Smart. He's got to figure out offense a little bit more though, and he's got to figure out how to win a close game. I don't think I've seen him really win a close game yet. Um, I mean, other than wasn't that Notre Dame game close a couple years ago that they kept talking about in 2017 or whatever?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. You got to think about it like this, though. Lane Kiffin is pretty in a good spot. He's got a quarterback that's crazy.
yeah,
That Priest guy,
yeah.
he put up 600 yards against LSU. Now he didn't put that much up against us, but
Right.
this is what I'm saying. Ole Miss with Lane Kiffin behind the board. I mean, it
On
might
offense.
be a little scary. We have a tough time holding back, even at our best defense. We have a tough time holding back mobile quarterbacks. I can talk about the Clemson game, even though we won. I can talk
Mhm.
about multiple other games. We have a tough time against running quarterbacks. And I'll say this: that John Priest, man, he is a bad. Or John Reese, he is bad to the bone.
Hold on. John Rice Plumley, is that?
John
Yeah,
Rice, yeah, John Rice Plumley.
I'm
Look,
trying to
that
figure that.
man is bad to the bone, and I'll tell you
Yeah, he
this,
is.
it's
He's
gonna
got
be
a great arm.
scary.
He's got a
Now
great
Lane
arm.
Kiffin,
He looks like
yeah,
something
but
you
he
don't want to mess
runs.
with.
He ran 600
Yeah,
yards against LSU, bro. This dude
dude, and
runs.
LSU was probably the best team. Now, I know you're a Bama fan, but you got to give them credit. I don't know if I've seen a season like what I saw from LSU last year. Now, Alabama has had one. They've had 5 titles under Nick Saban. Only one was undefeated in '09. Yes, they had Mark Ingram with the Heisman winner, but they were great. They had a couple close games, and so did LSU. But man, I don't know if I've seen a natty, a Heisman winning quarterback, Bolitnikoff, this, that, blow teams. I mean, I don't know if I've ever seen what I saw from LSU ever in one whole season for a college football team. I don't think I've seen that. I
That's
would say they
fine.
are the
That's fine.
best.
They can own that title, but they won't never own best team of all time forever. Like, this is the thing you got to look at, man. Alabama is top of the list in a lot of things across the board. We're
Yeah,
top of the line in a lot of things. It's not just one thing that
recruiting
we're
classes.
topped.
Yeah,
Uh,
and then recruiting classes year in and year out, and you know,
well, it's not
just
about that. I'm talking about stats and wins over time and big wins and records against certain teams. I think that Alabama is top level against anybody. If you look at the list, man, we're in the top always. And
right,
if you're going to talk about teams, Alabama's going to be number one. It's just a fact
right,
of college football. Now, I'm not saying that individual teams can't be greater than that. I mean, look, that individual team was a great team. It's probably the greatest we'll ever see. But at the end of the day, you got to look at it all. It's either all or
Mhm.
nothing. You got to look at everything. You look at everything, and it takes that away. So that's the one thing. Look, it was very impressive. It was due for a long time, and it came due. Uh, Now, I think it's time for us to go to Death Valley and take care of business and put them in the ground again, and
Right.
then we can talk some more. But at the end of the day, I think we beat Tennessee again. I think it's 14 in a row. Be this year.
Yeah. Something
That'll
like
be
that.
awesome. That'll be awesome, man. That will be awesome to see.
Yeah.
No, 13, wasn't it? I don't know. I don't know. We've been winning since
However long,
2007.
however long Saban's been there.
2007. So yeah, since then.
It'll
13
be
years.
13.
13.
Yeah, 13
13.
years. So if they win this year, it'll be 14 wins. You got to count 13 years since he came to Tuscaloosa, but you count that in because it was still when they played. But still.
They ain't won since Nick Saban came, and I don't know if Tennessee
Super
will ever
fan,
get the.
really?
I don't know if
Super fan makes
Tennessee
it
will
like
ever
ever.
get. Yeah, Superfan. That does not happen. But nonetheless, at the end of the day, I think that the SEC is going to be really tough this year. I think the SEC is going to be really tough this year. I think all teams, except Vanderbilt and except Mizzou. I think Texas A&M is going to be a tough team to beat. I think that
Yeah,
Ole Miss will have a little bit. I think Ole Miss is going to upset some big dogs. I don't know if
hmm
it's going to be Alabama. Hopefully not.
right.
Hopefully we just move over them. But I think that Ole Miss will upset some big dogs. I think that Texas A&M will have a hand in something.
Yeah,
Uh,
I wasn't too impressed on A&M last year. They didn't, get better like we thought they would. I think they took a step back, but I think they'll do a little bit better this year.
I think Florida's going to be tough. I think that
Yeah.
LSU is still going to
Florida.
be tough, even though they lost a lot of people. I mean, they're just going to be just like Alabama was after the national championship. You're going to be hurting for those certain people that you had. Um,
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to be as good as they were, but they'll be pretty tough. I think Auburn's going to be tough. I don't think they're going to
Right.
be the toughest, but I think they're going to be pretty tough. Georgia, of
Yeah.
course, is going to be really tough. Um,
Yeah.
Man, if you think about it, Mississippi State's got a good defense. Man, last year they played really good against us. They're the reason Tua got
Mississippi
taken
State.
down. I mean, they're tough
Hold on.
players. They play physical.
Oh,
Uh,
Mississippi. You mean Mississippi State?
yeah, that's what I said, didn't I? I said Mississippi
I thought
State.
you said Michigan State. I'm like, we didn't play them.
No, no.
I
Every
thought.
time we play Michigan
I
State, we
was
put
trying
them
to make
down.
sure. I was trying to make sure.
Mississippi State though is going to be one tough defense. I don't think they're going to win anything, and I think Ole Miss is probably going to upset some people. I think they get a bowl game this year. Ole Miss,
Yeah.
uh, they'll win the Egg Bowl. Um, I don't know, man. It's going to be a tough. If it's conference only, man, it's going to be some tough things. Tough.
Yeah, and you got to
It's going to be
think.
tough, man. It is going to
Are
be
we
all out.
playing? And if we do conference only, are we just removing the non-con games? Are we replacing them with conference teams? That's a big question, I think, because I might have missed that. I'm not sure, but either way, there's no we get a cupcake to rest up before we play. No, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
you play conference,
Uh,
conference, conference.
Because I'm one of them Alabama fans. I'm not stupid. I look at everything. I look across the
Right.
board. I look at other things. I'm impressed by some players, and I look
I
at
got
those
you.
players. Um,
Yep.
I don't just stick. Oh man, I'm all about Alabama and this it. Like no. I
Right.
love football, so I love to watch. If the Army, I watch the Army Navy game every year.
Right.
It's a tradition for me to watch
Yes,
the
it
Army
is.
Navy game every single year, and hopefully, in the future when I have kids, I'm gonna get them to watch that game for the rest of their lives. I mean, that's just something I
Yeah.
want to watch the
Because
rest of
that's
my
just
life.
one of those. That's one of those games, and I had just started my channel when that game happened last year because I started on my birthday, December 9th last year. I made a
Yeah,
video, and not only did I, look at this game, I didn't predict, but I made a video and I said, I'm thankful for those who serve. That's what this game's about. The Army-Navy game is tradition. It's one of the biggest. I don't know if I view it as a rivalry. Now people have called it a rivalry. I get it.
It
It's
is.
more
It
it's more
is.
of those. Yeah, it's more. I view it more as a traditional game to represent this country or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I got you. But the thing is with this, man, is if you love football, don't you think that watching, let's say your team goes undefeated, don't you think that watching 15 games is just too less for you? Think about if you
Right.
could watch more than one team, like not be a fan of the other teams,
Watch
but to
what you
just
could.
watch football. Watch football. Like
Right.
I used to go to Applebee's. I'd get my drink, Wild Turkey
Hmm.
101, and I'd get my bacon cheddar fries, and I'd sit there at the thing and watch 5 or 6 games at once while watching the
Right.
Alabama game. And I'm like, man, I'm loving this. Look over here. This dude just had an 80-yard touchdown run. I got to see that. Something you
Yeah.
wouldn't get to see. They have like 8 to 10 TVs in the building, so you can just look around and choose and be like, oh, there's a different game. There's a different game. I can look at that game. It
It's like,
was
oh look,
just,
It's like two field goals same time.
I
I can
love that atmosphere when you get to watch a lot of football games. Because let's say you increase from watching 15 football games a year, because you're gonna watch the playoffs, and you're gonna watch
Right.
just like if you watch playoffs in the NFL, you're gonna watch the playoffs, and you're gonna make sure you watch that national championship. So you're going to
Right.
watch about 15 to 20 games a year. Say that if you
Mhm.
started watching other team games during the week while leading up to your team, like say your team plays at 7 and you watch the noon games and lead up, right?
Yeah.
How many games have you watched now? Have you watched 80 this season?
Well,
Have you watched 100? That's 100 games that's about let's see. Yeah, that's about
there's still
85 games that you would not have watched if you would have just watched your team play.
Man, I'm going to be honest. I know that there are certain games that we look at as football fans, no matter who our team is. I know you and I are Bama fans. We can agree. Like a game like take Charlotte and North Carolina Tech or whatever. These cupcake games. I'm not watching that, but like at the same time, I'm one of those people. I don't care if it's two high school teams or pee wee football. Just the thought of watching a football game gets me excited, man. I don't care who it is. If it's some competition and some football, sign me up.
I'm watching rivalry games. I watch Auburn, Alabama.
Yep.
I watch South Carolina, Clemson. I
Hmm.
watch Texas, Oklahoma. Now I
Yeah.
wish Texas A&M would play their in-state rival because guess what? That is the
They,
most
I
important
thought they,
thing.
I thought they renewed that game. Aren't they bringing that back?
I don't know. I don't know yet, but
I
we'll
thought,
find out. But I'll say
yeah.
this, brother. I'll say this. I think there should be a state law because I know it is up there in South Carolina, but there should be a state law that if you, and I know this is unfair to the teams, but if you live in state with a rival, you should play them every
You
year
have to
on a
play
schedule.
them. I agree.
Look,
Yep.
Tennessee's in the East, right? Tennessee's in the
Yeah.
East. We don't
Vandy.
have to play them every year if we didn't want to, but we said
Yeah.
that game's important. It's called Third Saturday in October. That's an
Yep.
important rivalry. We're going to keep
We
that.
get it on the fourth. We actually get it on the fourth Saturday, which apparently, according to BVD, shout out to the guy, he's awesome. But I brought it up to him a couple months ago. I'm like, dude, our third Saturday game has been moved to the fourth Saturday. Are you kidding? He's like, yeah, that's happened before.
Yeah,
So I mean, I don't care when you play it. I mean, but if you're
of
gonna put a
course.
name like third Saturday, I mean, stick to it.
And I'm going to watch Georgia Tech. I don't
Yep.
care. The year that
Right.
Georgia Tech beat Georgia, though, I was like, okay, it's pretty
Yep.
funny. But what I'm saying is, I don't care what rivalry game I'm watching. I'm going to watch it. Now, I ain't going to watch nothing like you were saying, Charlotte and some North Carolina Tech team. But there are some smaller teams that I watch, like big high school rivalries that are known around the country in the national picture. Big, anything big like that, man. Like the Army Navy game we were just talking about. That's something I
Right.
watch religiously, man. It is one of my favorite games. Uh, what else? I love Oregon play. Which team was it? Oregon State. I love seeing
Yeah.
Oklahoma play Oklahoma State. I love those
Right.
games.
Uh-huh.
I think Oklahoma State, man. Like I think they make their case sometimes. I don't think that they're great
Oklahoma
or
State?
they're gonna make it. Huh?
Oklahoma State.
Yeah, I think they make their case. I don't think that
I
they're like
agree.
2 years from a national title or nothing, but I think that
Right.
they make a
They
case or something
yeah,
like
they made
they
a
play
case.
good.
See, they're one of those type of tier teams that are they make a good case with a bowl resume to win 6 games or between like 6 and 9 games or something like that. They could make a bowl game. They could compete for the conference. They're not quite there on the national level, but they recruited well. I like the is he going to be in next year's draft? Chuba Hubbard, or did he get drafted this year?
Yeah,
But that running back, man, they got some good recruits.
I think my favorite team to watch off base would be like somebody that I'm not a fan of, but like I watch sometimes because I'm from
Right.
there. Is
Mm-hmm.
Southern Miss. Southern Miss is the only Mississippi team I really sit there like. I watch the Egg Bowl because the Egg Bowl's in Mississippi rivalry, and I like to see that.
Right. Are you in
But I would
Mississippi?
no, I live in Alabama, but I'm from Mississippi.
Oh, okay, my bad. You're from Mississippi.
Yes, I'm from Mississippi.
Oh, okay, that's what it is. Then. My bad.
Southern Miss, the only team I watch outside. I want to see who does well in each conference. I always
Right.
go and I like look and I say, who do I want to win this conference this year? Like I don't really
Right.
ain't really a fan of none of these teams, but I look and I say, who I
You're
think's going to win
curious.
this conference?
You're just curious.
Yeah, I say Southern Miss wins this one. Florida
Mm-hmm.
Atlantic, whatever,
Right.
maybe and I ain't gonna lie, like we lost. You remember that game in 2007? We lost to
ULM.
ULM.
Yeah, I love when Coach Saban brings that up. People don't remember my first year as a head coach in 2007 at Alabama. People don't remember we lost to ULM. Do you even know what
In
that
Bryant, didn't
stands
he?
for? Do you even know what
In
that
Bryant,
stands for?
University of Louisiana
Mike
Monroe.
Shula, that goes to show you how bad Mike Shula had this program, man. Mike Shula had it in the dumps.
Well, it's all right. I mean, you got to
Yeah.
think about this. He went out with a winning record, and has not had a losing record at Alabama. So, and
I
now
got
he hasn't lost more than 2 games a year for a long time. So,
right. Yeah, I got a couple other people that want to get on. You got anything else, real quick?
I just want to say, roll tide. I appreciate you for letting me on. Thank you for giving me time.
Yeah,
Have a good one, brother.
always always appreciate it, and definitely be looking for some more music sometime soon. Have a good one. All right, gonna get MSU #1 fan. You've been waiting for a while, kind of popping in and out, and we got TikTok Chess Hall. I'll add you guys both on here real quick, and we got both of you on here. What's going on, guys?
Nothing much. Nothing
What's up,
much.
Chess and MSU fan?
I gotta say one thing.
What's up?
The dynasty's over. Week 1, baby.
Great.
Might as well
Here we
count
go.
on it. The hate's gonna start now, Ballard. I'm not gonna go soft on
Of
you,
course it
son.
is.
Nick Saban is gonna cry walking off the field when he shakes Kirby Smart's hand. If Kirby
You
Smart's
keep
gonna look
saying
crazy
that.
at Gamer
I
now,
can't. It's on
Kirby,
audio. It's on tape. I can't wait to play that week 3 when
okay,
Alabama wins it.
okay, when Kirby Smart looks in Nick Saban's face and says, "How about them fucking dogs, baby?" That's what he's gonna say, son. You
No.
Yeah,
might as
yeah,
well,
yeah.
you might as
I
well
got
hang up the season. You're losing at least one game in the regular season, and you're looking at the team to do it. By gosh, and you know it.
right. Yeah. Hey man, listen. I even said it. I think if any former assistant right there beating so close to being the GOAT, it's probably Kirby Smart. I think he's got to figure out offense. I know you said as a Georgia fan he's got to figure it out too, but you also believe they can do it this year. I think Jamie Newman has what it takes, so I give him a lot of credit.
Yes, sir. I'm just letting
Yep.
you know I'm not gonna take it easy on you. And tonight, I would love to have you on my podcast so we
All
can
right.
go at it if you want
What
to.
time is that?
Oh, you got a
About an
bedtime?
hour or two.
Oh, got a
Yeah,
bedtime,
man. I'll
don't you?
be. Hey, I ain't got no bedtime if it's the summer, man. Come on now.
11:55.
I'll show up, man. You know I'll be there.
All right, man. You're always welcome in there, man. I just wanted to call. I just wanted to show you some support. and get in here and tell everybody to subscribe to Ballard Sports Media.
Yep.
And he's a good dude. All right, man. I'll talk to you later, buddy.
All right. Thanks, Chess.
Welcome, buddy.
Yep. MSU fan, you there?
Yep.
How you doing?
Good.
Awesome.
Clemson fans are going to be mad at me for their prediction.
Hold on. Crimson Tide fans are?
No, Clemson.
Oh, Clemson fans. Okay, my bad. Go ahead.
I had them 9-3.
Oh, what?
They're gonna lose to the Citadel. Florida State. I'm trying to think. Who else did I say we're losing to? Oh, we're also losing to North Carolina. So there you go, Clemson.
I'm going to pretend I didn't just hear any of that. Listen, as funny as that would be to see. Hold on. You okay, name the 3 teams you just said.
The Citadel,
Citadel.
Florida State,
Oh man.
and North Carolina.
I only agree with the North Carolina one. I'm not saying North Carolina is going to beat Clemson. I just think that if there's anyone that actually has a chance, it's probably North Carolina. But dude, those other two, I would like to know what you're on right now, sir. Listen, I try to be a sportscaster. I try to be fair and everything, but I just have the hardest time believing that Clemson, with Trevor Lawrence, with Justin Ross. Now, granted, he's probably out this season, but they got a lot of other guys like Amari Rogers, and I have to look at the roster because they lost quite a few key guys last year. But I just have a hard time believing they're going to go 9-3, let alone 11-1 this year. I do not want to believe any of that is true.
Well, remember when Michigan played Appalachian State? Michigan fans remember that one. So.
Yeah. Hey, Christy. Thanks for showing up tonight. Yeah, I remember that game.
Yeah. We know these FCS teams are capable of pulling upsets.
Uh-huh.
So,
I mean, yeah, but I mean, we're talking about Clemson here, and I guarantee they get every cupcake at home, except obviously they get road games in the ACC. They got Notre Dame this year on the road in South Bend. But I just, man, listen, I hope you're not trolling with this either, are you? You're serious about this prediction, aren't you?
Yep, and they might even lose to Notre Dame, possibly.
Wow, I don't even want to. I don't even want to know how you came up with this here. I really don't want to believe any of this. I don't believe any of this. I mean, I'm trying to clean my ears out to make sure that I didn't just hear all that. Listen, I appreciate you coming on here and everything, and you're entitled to predictions. I get and I've said this before. I think prior to the season, we can assume anything, but we got to be realistic. I really don't see how Clemson could go 9-3 with Trevor Lawrence and T. Higgins, or T. Higgins is in the NFL. All those guys, right? Travis Etienne comes back. I don't see how a team like Clemson and the conference that they play in, now I expect the ACC to get better this year overall, a little bit better. Now, not all the way to where they're playing like big boys in the SEC or anything, but 9-3 for Clemson in 2020.
You know, college football, anything's possible.
Probably not that. I mean, but hey, listen, if that actually happens, I will have you on a live stream. I will congratulate you. I'll learn the Spartan Fight song and sing it. I'll say you're the biggest name on YouTube. I'll say this. I just Clemson 9-3.
Possibly.
Yeah. I don't know.
And I think here's my opinion about Notre Dame. Notre Dame, join the ACC or cancel your football season.
I agree. That I can agree with.
It's that simple.
Join a conference. Most likely the ACC, but at this point, I mean, I've heard rumors they could join the Big Ten. I don't know if that's going to happen, but most likely it's the ACC. And it's not. Is it really that hard to join a conference?
No. I mean, think about it. Purdue, Indiana, both in the Big Ten, all three are in the
Right.
same state.
Mhm.
But now the problem is, if Notre Dame would get added, now the Big Ten would have to kick out Rutgers or Maryland, or
Right.
you have to pull like an Appalachian State or another team, like whoever
Mhm.
it would be, pull them out of their conference, and just Notre Dame join the conference, or you tear down your stadium and make it a big, beautiful church. That way, all of us college football fans don't get nauseous watching Notre Dame football.
I don't have anything against Notre Dame other than they need to join a darn conference. I mean, that's really all it is.
They do. If you play how many ACC teams, 5 or 6, you may as well
5,
join.
6, 7, something. I mean, they
You may as
they
well.
might as well be playing in the ACC and in the ACC. I think.
I don't get why they're even. You're independent. Seriously.
Right.
You
In the
play.
independents, there's 6 teams. That's half a conference, so it's not enough to make a conference.
Yeah. I mean, unless you're
Right.
Michigan State, who rotates a lot of non-con games, like, I want to see more Michigan State Notre Dame games.
Right.
I mean, we beat
They
them
got
in every.
they got Clemson this year. Notre Dame has Clemson this year. I think
Yeah.
they've scheduled. I don't know if they scheduled a home and home or what, but they got Alabama on the schedule for like 2030 something. They got obviously they did
Yeah.
home and home alternate years. You know,
Yeah.
with Georgia, but I mean, they got to play some more teams. But anyway, my phone is about to
It,
die and I'm getting kind of tired, but I appreciate you coming on tonight. I think I'm going to try to end the stream here.
Alright, no problem.
Thanks for coming on. Have a good one. Anyway, that's pretty much it for tonight. Appreciate MSU #1 fan, Junkyard Dog, Hung You Like, Chrissy for showing up, Blake West, Superfan The Goat, TikTok Chess Hall. Appreciate you guys coming on tonight. Like West. I think I got everybody, but I think I'm gonna go ahead and get off. I see Nate back there, but Nate, my phone is about to die here, and I got a crappy charger. But I guess I'll let you say something real quick. Hold on. Nate loves Michigan football. You're on real quick. What's up, Nate?
Go Blue.
Dude, you've been trying to get on. What's been going on? I try to add you and you go away, or I have someone else on and you go away, or you good?
Well, the last time I was on because of my Wi-Fi was really bad.
Yeah.
So, can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right. Because I don't see my. Oh, there he goes. So how are you?
I'm doing good.
That's good.
Yep.
I was a little kind of pissed when Big Ten and Pac-12 just did
Conference only.
Yeah.
That canceled the Washington Michigan game week 1, didn't it?
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, but I just wanted like a regular season, not like a conference season. I mean,
Right.
I want a season. I mean, conference season's better than nothing. Don't get me wrong.
Some football's better than no football.
Yep. But you said yeah, I had to be real quick. Sorry I was late.
Yeah,
But
that's fine. I mean, I was fixing to get off, but I saw you back there. I figured I'd add you on for a couple minutes or so.
yeah. I did you have a prediction for the Michigan Wolverines? I just saw a
I
preview,
did it.
though.
Yeah, I did the preview. I'll have to go back and look. I think I had them. I don't know. I think I had them like 10-2 or whatever with losses to Penn State and Ohio
Oh,
State. maybe 9-3. I'll have to go back and look, but it was 9-3 or 10-2.
I think I remember that because I said 11-2, including the bowl game, but it includes who they play. Like let's say maybe Auburn or.
I think I have them. If you go back, I'm not sure if you saw my bowl predictions, preseason bowl predictions video. I have them in the Outback Bowl against Auburn this year.
Well, if that happens, that'll be like 2 Alabama teams we verse.
Right.
Jeez.
Question is, can you keep up with this one?
Shut up. I mean, Dylan McCaffrey can run. Don't get me wrong, he can run, but he has a decent arm. Dylan McCaffrey has more experience than Joe Milton because I want the sophomore Joe Milton to play, but I want more experienced players, to be honest.
Right.
So I think McCaffrey's going to get the job, and maybe next year Milton can get the job, and the year after that, I think J.J. McCaffrey, the 5-star prospect, will get the job. He looks pretty good.
Yeah.
I looked at highlights of J.J. McCaffrey.
Do what?
Yeah. Have you looked at free highlights yet?
I have not, but I'll definitely, if I can remember, I'll check it out later.
Just he has a really, really strong arm.
Yeah.
So,
I've heard a little bit about him, but not a whole lot.
All right, Ballard. I think Lou's show is on right now. But thanks for taking streaming your call.
Yeah. Thanks for coming on the stream, Nate. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Have a good one.
All right. See you at the Lou's, or if you are. But are you coming to Lou's show? Or
I
no?
might pop in for a little bit.
Okay. All right. See ya.
Thanks, Nate. All right, there you have it, Nate Kingston. I'm going to go ahead and get off here. Phone's at 1%. But I appreciate everyone. Super fan, Nate Kingston, TikTok, MSU fan, Chrissy. Appreciate everyone showing up tonight in the stream. Blake West for coming on. You like showing up, Junkyard Dog. I could go down the list. If you showed up, appreciate it. Hit the like, hit the subscribe button. Comments always appreciated. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Until then, Ballard Sports Media, checking out. Y'all have a good day. Roll Tide, roll.